see here. So this program is about adding a method to the box class. Okay, so first we will see what is there in this program. Okay, so see, you know how we add methods. Yes, how we write methods inside the class. You already know. Classes contain data members and member functions, right? So this, in this example, this is not something else. Okay, this is not something else. So this does not demonstrate any, extraordinary concept. It's just how we add a method to a class, and you have already done such examples earlier. Yesterday's example also, right? In yesterday's example also, the area example where we calculated the area of a rectangle, circle, triangle, yes, square. So you have seen already that we had one class, and inside that class, apart from the main function, we also had functions. Okay, we also had methods to calculate the area of triangle, one for rectangle, one for circle, and so on. So it's just that. Okay, so how? So you have already seen that example. This is another example. In the previous example that I spoke about just now, that in that example, we used only one class. Let me go back to that. This was the example I was talking about. So you have already seen this example. So here, as you can see, inside the class area function, we have the main function, then we have 4 more functions to calculate the area of the different figures, right? But here we were using only one class. Okay, in this example we have, as you can see, we have 2 classes. Okay, box and box demo. Okay, so in the box class, what do we have? We have the data members like width, height, and depth. Okay, because box, it is a cubical, it's a 3-dimensional figure, right? Box, when you talk about a box, it has got 3 dimensions. 3-dimensional figure. Okay, it is cuboidal in nature, or it can be cubical also. Okay, if all the width, height, and depth are same, then it is a cube. If height, width, and depth are different, then it's a cuboid. You know this. So anyway, whether it be a cube or a cuboid, here we are in this example, we are considering it to be a cuboid. That is why we have taken width, height, and depth separately as the data members. Okay, inside the box class, and then as you can see, we have a volume method. Okay, which will help us calculate the volume of the cuboid. Okay, the box, and return us the value. Okay, so it will return the value. It will return a double value because width, height, and depth are all double values. So if you multiply these double values, the result of obviously will be a double value. So this statement is having a return type double, which means the volume that will be calculated will be a double value. Okay, and who will call this method? This method will be called from the main function, which belongs to some other class. Okay, so you have already seen that inside one class we can have all the methods, including the main method, as in this case. Okay, as in this area example, you have already seen that inside one class only we had the main method and we had some other user defined methods. It is also possible to have the main method in a separate class and the other methods in a separate class, just as in this example. So here we have two classes. In one class we have the main method. So this will be the starting point of the program execution. Okay, program execution will begin from this class. Okay, that is why the name also has been saved as box demo 3. Okay, because we will be, program execution will be from this class. Okay, it contains the main function, and inside the main function we will be creating, as you can see here, we have not used the static keyword here. The data members of this class and the member function of this class are non-static, which means they have got object scope. And what is object scope? It means if I am to access the volume or the width, height, depth of this class, I can do that only you creating an object for this class. Okay, so if you are creating, if you are writing a class with non-static data members and member functions, okay, without the word static, this is what I mean, then it simply means that the data members or the member functions needs to be called, okay, by creating with the help of objects. Okay, with the help of objects, you have to create objects of that class. So for this box3 class, we will be creating an object inside this because it is from the main function that, you know, this class will be accessed. Okay, so inside the main function, as you can see here, we have created two objects, okay, my box1 and my box2. And using these objects, you know, we will be, you know, accessing the members of the class box3. Okay, but had it been a class containing static members, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे static लगा दिया, ठीक है, then in that case you don't have to create an object for this class. You can directly access the data, right? So that is what it is. Okay, anyway, now see, in this example here, so the first class has been, it's a simple class. Okay, so here we are only dealing with declaration of the data members and the member function. Okay, we have three data members, width, height, depth, and one member function, which is the volume, inside which we are calculating the volume and we are returning the volume. That's it. Next, we have the demo3 class, sorry, box demo3 class. Here we have the main function only, and inside the main function, as you can see, first we are creating objects. Okay, first we are creating objects of this class. So first we are creating the my box1 object. Okay, using the new operator with the constructor box3. It's a default constructor. So my box1 is created. Okay, then again I'm creating another object, my box2. Accordingly, my box2 will also be created. So I have two objects now, my box1 and my box2. Okay, I have two objects for the class box3. Okay, my box1 and my box2. These are two objects. Next, you see, I am to, okay, wait. Okay, so suppose this is the my box1 object. Can you view the screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so that you can understand, I am just drawing in figures. Okay, diagrammatically I'm trying to show you diagrammatically. This is the second object, my box2. Okay, for the class box3. Okay, these are the two objects of box3 class. Okay, we have first created this, and now once you have created this, so inside this, what do we have? We have copies for what? We have width, yes, then we have height, and we have depth. This remains the same for this also. Okay, so now understood. So with the help of the new constructor, new operator and the constructor of box3 class, I have created two objects, my box1 and my box2. So obviously, accordingly, this will be created. And initially, because we are using default constructor here, so it will contain some default values. Okay, it will contain some default values. Any random values it can contain. It can contain zeros also. It can contain any random values. Okay, because as you can see here, we are not passing any values. Right? This is a default constructor. If your constructor has got no parameters, it simply means it's a default constructor. Okay, so by default, you know, some default values will be sent to the object when they are created. Okay, when the object is created, some default values will be given will be fed to that object. So accordingly, here we will have some random values. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, any value can be there. Okay, any random value. Now we have to give some specific values. Okay, so likewise, in order to give values to width, height, and depth of my box object, my box 1 object for this object, how am I going to do it? I am to access in order to enter values for width, height, and depth. Width, height, and depth belongs to what? This class. Yes, but how can I access these data members? With the help of the object that I have created. So first for my box 1, okay, so first we will assign values to my box 1 instance variables. Okay, so first we consider the my box 1 object. There we will insert the values for width, height, and depth accordingly. And how are they accessed? How are these data members accessed? With the help of objects. Okay, so we are accessing the data members with the help of objects, my box 1. So likewise, what were the values? 10, 20, 15. Okay, 10, 20, 15. 10, 20, and 15. Okay, and next is 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so separately, first we will enter values to this my box 1. Okay, directly, and then we will enter values for my box 2 variables. Okay, and here as you can see, we have not used scanner class, so we cannot give user input. Okay, so at the time you write the program, you have to initialize the instance variables. Okay, so at the time of writing itself, the programmer has to feed the values. Okay, so these are static values. We are not using scanner class for giving user inputs. So this is done for box 1 and this is done for the box 2 object. Clear? So both my objects have got values now. Now what is next? Next, we will call a function to display volume of the first box. So what is that function which will help us calculate the volume? It is the volume method, right? The volume method is there, which will help us calculate the volume of the box. So first we will call this volume method to calculate the volume of box 1. Okay, so accordingly, here, see, you can write it this way also. Okay, first, if you call the volume method for my box 1, because I am to calculate the volume for my box 1. Yes, so for my box 1, I'm using my box 1 dot volume. I'm accessing this method. Accordingly, the values 10, 20, 15 will be passed to width, height, and depth. Okay, that will be calculated and it will be returned back to the calling function, to this statement. And then that value, the calculated value, which is 10, 20, 15, okay, that calculated value will be assigned to vol. So it's a variable that I have taken. It's a local variable, as you can see. Okay, vol is a local variable which I have taken inside this method, main method. It will simply hold the calculated volume. Okay, so once we will calculate the volume for my box 1 and next we will calculate the volume for my box 2. Accordingly, we will using that particular object, whether my box 1 or my box 2, we will call the volume method. We will calculate the volume and then we will assign it to the vol variable. And then in the next step, you are to simply display it. So in the println statement, you can simply. So here I have done it in 2 ways. Okay. Look at this. Okay, let me just delete this part. I've done it in 2 ways. In this case, as you can see, the value that will be returned after calculating the volume will be assigned to vol variable, and then we are simply displaying the value here. It's simple. And in the first case, instead of writing 2 statements, what I'm doing is, instead of assigning the value to vol and printing the value, I'm directly writing this function call in this statement itself here, as you can see. Okay, I have not taken any separate variable here to assign the value of the volume calculated. Okay, instead I have directly called the function from inside the println statement. Understood? So the thing that will be done here in 2 stages will be done here in 1 stage itself. It's simple. It's a very simple program. Here we are basically using 2 classes, box 3 and box demo 3. Box 3 consists of the data members and the member function, and box demo 3 consists of the main function from where we will call the class members, box 3 class members. We will calculate the volume and we will display the volume. And in order to, because the first class contains non-static members, that is why we have to create objects for that particular class inside the second class. Okay, we are creating objects for the first class so that we can, using those objects created, we can accordingly access the members one by one, and we can accordingly calculate the values for the objects. Anybody has any doubt on for this program?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Clear? It's very easy. Okay, here also we have seen the use of constructor. We have been using constructor. Default constructor of me use Korea so program of when you are creating an object of a class, you are creating it using the new operator followed by the default constructor till now, right? So I'll show you how we can
Ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
মোৰ এই কামত কত ম্যাম এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেটৰ দি ৰান কৰিলে ম্যাম মোৰ নচলে দেখোন।
কি কৈছা? So see here, because the inputs were given already at the very start of the program. Okay, so when the program will be executed, the values will be directly passed. The volume will be calculated for both the box objects, and then the values will be displayed. So see, we have two volumes here. First volume is for box 1 and second volume is for box 2, box object 2. Okay, volume for, let me just write volume for object 1. My obj1 is volume for my obj2 is. Okay. So see, I think it's clear now. So this is for the first object 3000 and this is for the second object 162. Okay. Next, if you have understood this, I can go to the next program. Anybody has any confusion with this program? You can say.
No, ma'am.
Any doubt?
No,
Any
ma'am.
confusion? So okay, very easy. These things are very easy if you have, you know, your concepts clear from C++. Okay, then this will also be the concepts are same, right? Both are object-oriented programming languages. Just extra kisuman words use about libraries will be different here. That's all. Okay, in the next program, what do we have? Adding a method that takes parameters. Okay, in the previous example, this was also a method, but here we did not pass any parameters. So as you can see, the parameter list is empty here. Argument list is empty. Okay, but here we will pass on parameters here. Adding a method that takes parameters. So here volume is the same. Okay, it's the same thing. It's see, program is the same as, if you can see, because it's also the same class box. Okay, I have just renamed it to 4. Okay, so that you don't get confused. Otherwise, data members are same. Okay, the volume method also remains the same. In addition, we have, you know, added one extra method, set dimension. Okay, here what we will do is here we have argument list. So here we will pass some values from the main function. Those values will be then assigned to width, height, and depth. Clear? So this is the extra thing that has been added to the previous example, nothing else. Okay, previous example mein sabhi yahi tha, but extra addition we have just added one extra method which will take in parameters. Okay, which will take in arguments, values. Okay, in the argument list, and those values will be then, okay, assigned to width, height, and depth, and based on that we will calculate the volume of the objects, different objects that we create. Okay, now inside the main class, as you can see, we have the main method. Here also we are doing the same thing. We are creating two objects, myBox1, myBox2. Okay, using default constructor only. We are not passing any parameter, you know, we are not using parameters constructor here. Then we are initializing both the boxes. So in the previous example, what did we do? Because we did not have any method. See, what is this method used for? Why are we using this method? To set the values. Okay, to set the values. ठीक है, values को read करने के लिए. तो जो भी हम लोग values, तो हम लोगों के पास एक function ही है अभी. Using this function, what we will do is we will call this function set dimension from the main method, as you can see here, for both the objects that we have created, okay, for box 1 and for box 2. We will call this set dimension method and we will assign the values. We will pass on the values as arguments, and those values will be taken by the function and they will be assigned to width, height, and depth, right? So here we are reading the values by means of a function. But in the previous example, we did not have any function using which we can read values. So therefore, we have to write assignment statements like this. एक एक करके width को बुलाओ, height को बुलाओ, depth को बुलाओ, and then assign some values to them. Understood? This was for box 1, this was for box 2. One by one, we simply assign the values to the box objects for width, height, and depth. But here we have minimized our task. What are we doing is, we will not write separate assignment statements to assign values. Instead, we have one function who will help us assign values. What we have to do is, we have to simply call this function from the main function. Okay, from the main function, we will call this method using the box object for which we want to read the values. Okay, so first we will call the set dimension for box 1. Okay, we have passed 10, 20, 15. Accordingly, 10, 20, 15 will be passed on to W, H, and D, and those values will be then assigned to width, height, and depth. Similarly, in the next step, we are again calling the set dimension method. Okay, but this is for box 2. So we are passing 3, 6, 9 to W, H, and D, and W, H, and D. Okay, these values 3, 6, and 9 will be assigned to width, height, and depth. So now for both the boxes, we have the values assigned likewise. Okay, we have the values assigned. And who has done this task? The method set dimension. Set dimension has helped us initialize the values of the object. Now, in the next step, it's simple. Now what you have to do? You have initialized the values. Now you have to only calculate the volume. So again, using whichever box you want to calculate the volume, just use that box followed by the volume method, call the volume method, okay, and then display it. Understood? Understood this program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, একদম same program বাস অলপ extra এটা দুটা concept add কৰি গৈ আছো এটা, ঠিক আছে? Next, we come to the next program. Here, this is a program on constructors. Okay, so you know what constructors are, right? So, what is a constructor? Can anyone tell me? What is a constructor? What constructor? Yes, to stay. I don't want definition. You don't have to Google the definition and tell me. Just the way I explain, I just need a simple explanation or a simple definition of constructor. What is constructor? Constructor means to construct an object. What do we construct or how do we construct? So when memory is allocated, one block of memory is allocated to an object, initially it will be empty, right? So what do constructors do? Whether or not you use constructors in your program, okay, if you are using a constructor in your program, that constructor will be invoked. If you are not using any constructor in your program, still a default constructor will be invoked. Okay, so what is the basic purpose of the constructor? Constructor will help you initialize the variables of the object. Here, when memory is allocated to my box 1, initially this will be empty. This will not contain any value. So what will happen is, they might contain garbage values, right? So that, when you create an object, the object does not contain any garbage value. What the program does is, whether or not you use constructors in your program, okay, if you are using that well-and-good, whatever value you are providing, those values will be assigned. And if you are not using constructor in your program, the default constructor will be invoked, whose job is to initialize. Initialize means to provide some random values to the object variables. Okay, so that is what constructor is. So constructor basically is when the object is created, okay, when the object is created, along with its creation, the values of the object will also be initialized. Simple as that. Okay, এইখিনি ক'ব পৰা নাই নেকি?
Yes, ma'am.
ৰিভাইজ কৰিলা তোমালোকে? এইকাৰণেতো কনষ্ট্ৰাক্টৰ ইউজ কৰো, নহলে কিয় ইউজ কৰো? ইমান জানাই দেখোন, লাষ্ট সেমিষ্টাৰ ইমান পঢ়ালো, এতিয়ালৈকে ভালকে ক'বই পৰা হোৱা নাই, ইমান সাধাৰণ কথা এটা কনষ্ট্ৰাক্টৰ কিয় ইউজ কৰো? Anyway, so here now we will make use of a constructor. Okay, again it's the same program. As you can see, we have two classes, box class and box demo class. Okay, inside the box class we have width, height, depth. We also have the volume method. So these are the same things. Okay, this is the same. Only difference is here we are using constructor. So this is the constructor box 5, okay, of the box 5 class. By looking at the name itself, you can know that it is a function which has the same name as the class name. Therefore, this function is nothing but a constructor. And do we have any parameters here? No. So what is this constructor?
Ma'am,
It's a default constructor. Okay, so when your constructor does not contain any arguments, okay, it is the parameter list is free, then it is a default constructor. Okay, so either you can define the values inside the constructor, or even if you don't write this default constructor in your program, then also when this statement will be executed, a default constructor will be invoked by the compiler. The compiler will invoke a default constructor even if you don't write this part in your program. Okay, and but here we are explicitly writing a default constructor in our program where we would not want the objects to have random values. Instead, we would want them to have some fixed values like 10, 10, 10 in our example. Okay, so in this case, as you can see, this is the information we have inside the box 5 class. Then inside box demo 5 class, again, it's the same thing. We will create two objects, box objects, and we will, you know, because we already have the constructor now. So when the box will be created, immediately the constructor will be invoked. It will be called, and immediately the values of the box objects, my box 1 and my box 2, will be initialized to 10, 10, 10, right? So when first this statement will be executed, okay, this constructor will be invoked automatically, and the values that are given, yes, 3 tens, will be assigned to width, height, depth. So immediately what will happen is these values will get assigned to 10, 10, 10 to the variables. Okay, again, in the next part, next statement is for box 2. Again, when this statement will be executed, because we have a default constructor defined in our program, so we know what the values will be, default values will be. So this constructor will be invoked. We again have the same, of course we have the same, because the same constructor is called, so the values will also remain same. So here also the values will be 10, 10, and 10. So now my two objects have been successfully created and initialized using the constructor, default constructor. Okay, now what's left for me? I have to only calculate the volume of both the boxes. So how am I supposed to do this? I'll simply call my box 1 dot volume method. So using this, the volume method will be invoked. Okay, the values 10, 10, 10 will be passed to a volume method. It will be calculated, it will be returned back to the statement, and then we can print it out. So for my box 1 also, the volume will be 1000. For my box 2 also, the volume will be 1000. This part is same, there's nothing different. Okay, as you can see, now if we compare all the three programs that we have gone through so far, in the first case, what did we see? We had to initialize the values one by one using assignment statements, right? So we had 6 statements, 3 for the first object initialization, 3 for the second object initialization. So here we had to write assignment statements so that we can assign values to the data members of the box objects, both the box objects, right? In the next example, in order to minimize the task, what we have done is, instead of individually providing values to to the data members for each of the objects, we have given this task to a method. मतलब ये मैं नहीं करूंगी, मैं कितना काम करूँ सब मैं ही करूँ क्या? तो मैं क्या करूँगी? What I'll do is I have given the task to a method. What I'll do is I'll simply call the method. The method will initialize the variables and it will return me the result. So in the next example, that is what we did using the set dimension method. So in this method, what we did is from the main function, we simply called the set dimension methods using the objects. Okay, for my box 1 and my box 2. So using these objects, we simply call this method. So it was the responsibility of this method to take the values and initialize them. Initialize the width, height, and depth. Okay, and then return us the values. So now in this example, previous example, it was entirely done by the main function. Main function ने सब responsibility लेके रखा था कि एक-एक करके मैं initialize करूंगी. यहाँ पे क्या किया? The main function is handed over the task to a method set dimension. So from the main method, okay, we will call the set dimension method, which will help us initialize the values to the different objects. Okay, and in the third again, ताकि main method, ताकि हम लोगों को main method के अंदर भी ये extra lines लिखना ना पड़े, if I already have used constructor, see, I'm already creating the objects of the class using constructor. You cannot create objects without using this part. Yes or no? We are already using a constructor here. है ना? तो constructor use भी कर रहे हो, लेकिन उस constructor का कोई काम भी नहीं हो रहा है, because constructor use करने के बाद भी what are we doing? Either we are writing extra statements, extra functions to initialize the values for the objects, or we are writing extra statements here, assignment statements to initialize the objects. अगर constructor use कर ही रहे हो, तो direct constructor को ही responsibility दे दो. Why do we have to write extra statements? Why do we have to write extra methods like in here? Have you understood? Constructor का काम है to initialize the object while it is created. So if you are already creating an object, if you are already using constructor, तो यहाँ पे तो constructor का सब देखने जाओ तो यहाँ पे तो it's not doing its task, that is initialization. यहाँ पे ये काम कर रहा है क्योंकि constructor invoke होगा, constructor default constructor है, and यहाँ पे because we have not used any defined any constructor here, so it will provide some default values. But default values को फिर से हम लोग rewrite करेंगे by giving our own set of values. So पहले हम default values दे रहे हैं using default constructor, then we are removing those values and then we are providing our own set of values. So instead of going through two phases, why not we directly write a constructor in our program, default constructor, so that as soon as the constructor is invoked, this statement is executed, the default constructor is immediately invoked and the values that we have provided directly gets initialized to the assigned to the object. Understood? So this is how, if you can see, हम लोग ऐसे transformation कर रहे हैं. Here we had only statements to initialize the object, then we had a method here to initialize the object, and now directly we are using a constructor. So if you see, if you look at the main method only, here you can see the length of the number of statements I have in the first. So many statements. Then in the second statement, comparatively the statements reduced. And finally in the last, we are left with very few statements. Samajh aaya? So as if you have understood, then you have understood one point that a program can be written in multiple ways. There is no specific way of writing a program. It's an application. How it's a problem. How you want to solve that problem, it is up to the solver. You are the solver. You will solve the problem. It is up to you. You can write 1,000 statements to solve a problem. You can write 10 statements also to solve the problem. And because we have so many concepts, so using the concepts, accordingly, you can design your own algorithm. You can write your own program. Understood the three programs that I showed you and the difference, the transformation that I have showed you. Mujhe paisa hai na?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just hold on. Ek minute.